What's going on, everybody? Corey here. Welcome back to another Fly Casual. Hey, we got news to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about the Resistance trailer that hit. We're going to talk about what Filoni's up to and how he's involved. We got some, well, how he will be involved, but that's not what you guys know what I meant. Anyway, we also got some production photos that got a Twitter poop storm stirred up for F9, and also another round of what's Mark Hamill doing before we get deep into the hot, sweet toys and collectibles that you're going to stick around and find out about on another Fly Casual.
Let's get ready to wrinkle!
I was going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And
please do.
I know Howie doesn't want to go here, but I'm going to be honest. I really wish
you were a little bit taller.
I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl in the
shot caller.
You know what? I'd call her.
Yeah.
I wish I had a rabbit. I also wish I had a hat.
Yeah.
And a bat.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't mind having a 6'4" Impala.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if I did,
sweet car,
I'd paint it black and act like I was the dudes from Supernatural.
Yep.
That's just the way it would happen. I don't think that's a 64. That's not a 64.
No.
But it's the Impala. You know, I would drive a new Impala. I don't even like the new Impala. I would drive the newer Impalas just to paint it black and pretend that I was, Dean and Sammy cruising around.
You'd listen
that's a 67 hardtop.
The Black Album.
67 hardtop. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I would listen to the Black. Now I would listen to Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones.
Or Paint It Black, yeah.
And then I would hate myself for it because I don't like Mick Jagger's voice at all. Wait, is Paint It Black? That's Rolling Stones, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, Mick Jagger, he's tone deaf, bro. Have you ever listened to Ruby Tuesday? Have you ever listened to him slide all around the drunken place in Ruby Tuesday? Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday.
I know. Sounds like a male Janis Joplin.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to say something real controversial. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Don't care for Janis Joplin.
What?
And here you are. I'm all about classic
I'm with you,
rock.
man.
I'm all about classic rock. I'm all about oldies. But I cannot.
Got a great blues voice, man.
No.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There are people like, she's got a great, and I'm just talking like in general, female blues singers. You always hear she's got a real good smokiness to her voice. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Nora Jones has a good smokiness to her voice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Chick from Over the Rhine's got a great smokiness.
Oh, yeah. She
Karen Rehnquist, is that her name? Yeah. No, Janis Joplin just yelled into the mic. No.
Etta James, come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
You can't call what Janis Joplin did blues voice. If anything, she was like early punk voice.
Maybe. I don't know.
I wouldn't even call it singing. I would just call it grumbling.
Oh, it was singing. It was singing. Come on.
I don't know, Mike. Maybe you're showing your age. And then again, Garrick just called out Etta James. I mean, we can go all over the timeline.
She lived longer than Janis Joplin, so there.
Yeah. No.
Point.
Pretty sure.
So we've dropped that. So thankfully we've gotten but no, what I was going to be honest about.
Aretha Franklin?
I really wish that someone would make the ability to just put a Star Wars skin over Pokemon Go so I wouldn't have to feel so guilty about how much time I'm putting into that damn game.
Oh, you're back, baby. You know what?
I need 3 friends. I need 3 new friends.
I do too.
Dang it.
Hey, would you be my friend, Garrick?
It ain't going to be me.
We're already friends.
You need 3 new friends again? I'm going to have to do that again? I'm already friends with your kids, Mike.
I know.
Mike's my friend, Corey's my friend, and my wife's my friend.
Oh, I get to use your wife.
Yeah, we're all tell Ruth she's about to prepare her friend box.
She's going to be used.
Yeah. Her friend code's going to be ravaged.
Come on, I don't want to have to use randos off Facebook.
I know, man. I know. Yeah. Like Mike's
taking viruses.
My 2 kids have. Hey, my kids got an account too. I can hook you guys up.
All right, there we go. There's 2.
Yeah. I was so mad because I friended you guys, and then the next day got the 3 new friends. And I'm like, I've already got the 4 people that I know play.
Hey, Howie, can you just?
I don't need that many friends.
Me?
Nope.
Come on, man.
Come on, Howie.
It's been deleted.
Howie, are you friend code holding?
Yes.
Are you
Come
holding?
on, man.
Howie,
come on, man.
Are you holding?
Friend it up, bro.
Oh, yeah. Any friend codes for me?
Code me.
I am not going to be an enabler.
You know what? I respect that, but F you, Howie.
I'll send you a present. Can have a present.
Oh, man, these freaking quests are going to be the death of me. Gosh dang it.
Oh, you're just getting started, bro.
I know. And that
You're
game
just getting
that game
started.
is still broken as hell too. Why all the games y'all
No,
make me
it's
play
not.
broken? Yes.
It ain't broken. It's pretty good.
Nah.
It's been good lately.
I caught all sorts of stuff. Got a shiny Eevee.
Stuff going on.
I ain't got shiny nothing. I thought I did. And someone's like, no, that's just a Alolan variant. And I said, quit talking Asian. It looks like it's a shiny.
I got a shiny Sunkern this week.
Nice.
do you
How
have,
can you tell the difference?
Shining happy people.
Can't. It's barely perceptible.
I was going to say, wait, don't they just make them yellower and Sunkern's already yellow?
They're one shade lighter
Yeah.
or darker.
It's a
I don't know.
Sunkern. Yeah, a friend at work has a shiny Tyranitar.
Yeah,
You know
I got
what?
one of
I have
them.
one of
It
those.
just looks
Yeah.
like the pea soup colored
Please,
Tyranitar.
everybody's got one of those.
Yeah,
Instead
dude,
of the
come
army
on.
green Tyranitar. I don't
Come
know.
on.
When I have my one Tyranitar that I got with Howie when he was still playing.
Yeah. I played for like 6 weeks.
He's still that
On the second
Tyranitar
round.
still pones. That thing still just chomps, eats alive. Speaking of eating things alive, well, Mike's eating a peanut with the shell on it right now.
Alive.
Sucking on it, baby. Yeah, good stuff.
Right into the
What'd she
mic.
say?
He's Kroger Bland.
Kroger Bland, you nailed it. Nailed it on the head.
Kroger Brand.
Dude, you need to live the
Salted
lap
peanuts,
of
baby.
luxury. You need to live in the lap of luxury and get the can from Howie that's got
No.
the extra
Nah.
large, extra crunchy Virginia peanuts. Not be
Nah.
messing with the shells and all that garbage. what kind of cut rate redneck backwater operation are we operating? You're over there sucking on shells. Next thing you do is start dumping them in your Coke and going, oh, look at the fizz bubbles. I'm having a grand old time.
That's next.
No.
Yeah.
From the South, man. Not really, but
The South Band.
No. Southern Indiana? What?
The South
Yeah.
Band. That's the radio stations where they only play country music.
the Southern bands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's the one. Welcome back to Fly Casual, your hopefully favorite Star Wars podcast. And yeah, guess what? Hey, we're gonna
Top
do
five.
Star Wars
It's
tonight.
second or third on my list.
It's my favorite. I'm not gonna lie,
Really?
Yeah.
by far.
Really?
I'm not saying I listen to every episode, but I live through
Now-
it for God's sake.
Guys, just to warn everybody, this is going to be a very controversial episode.
Uh-oh. It is?
What?
For once, I don't know what's going on.
I don't either.
I'm just assuming.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
We'll just give that warning every time.
It's
Just
the
to be
old
safe.
Star Wars fans versus the social justice warrior Star Wars fans.
Oh, boy.
Look out!
Hey guys,
Look out!
I've got a great idea. Let's set one extreme against another extreme, and forget that none of us are extreme, and sit back and watch the fireworks.
Extreme.
Extreme.
Welcome
I'm super extreme.
Star Wars. Hey, Mike, you suck. Sunday.
Force duel. Oh wait, that's wrong thing.
Yeah, that's probably still in here somewhere. You call that? Is this it?
We need to.
Nope, that's not
No,
it.
that would not be it.
Welcome to episode number 190 frickin' 3. What?
What?
God almighty.
90
you believe that?
3.
190 frickin' 3.
Yeah,
Freaking three.
Which is the second 90 frickin' 3.
that's right.
Technically.
So it's not 93 times 2 though,
No.
because that wouldn't work.
No, it's the second time it's been 90 frickin' 3.
Yeah.
Just this time with a 1 in front of it. That's how
right.
math works.
So
I conferred
do
with
you,
a
if you
mathematician.
get too many episodes, do you like roll over and start back at 0?
Yep.
Yep. It's like an odometer.
That's how numbers work.
Yep.
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 We're gonna-
Yep.
Well, we've lost all the original.
They only go so
recordings of any
high.
of our music. So
No, we haven't.
no, that's true. Some of it we still have intact.
I have everything.
Everything.
Hey, every
Well,
episode
I have
ever
every
produced
episode.
can
Oh,
be
yeah.
found on the
The
interwebs.
Fly Casual Vault.
And I have the original files of every episode.
Yeah, the problem is if I want music without you guys like snarking over top of it, that's the problem. So I gotta figure out how he keeps the magic, Howie Disney Vault, so I can fish things
in
out.
my home. So if it burns down, we're screwed.
Yep. It's on a 5400s RPM 2 gigabyte drive
Tape backups.
IDE tape backups. Oh man, let's take just a minute to walk down memory lane. When I was still doing graphics, man, like you'd be in a
Got him
building.
going.
Yep.
You'd be in a
Good job.
building and they're
You're
like,
welcome.
all right,
You did,
hey,
Howie.
hey, artist kid, you can wear jeans, but you live in the basement now. Oh, okay. All right, show me to my desk. It's right here between all these stacks of boxes. Oh,
And you got a red stapler.
yep. Oh, hey, you have
Ooh,
Macintosh.
Swingline?
You have Macs down here. Yep, it's the only ones we have. IT won't touch them. So you got your own backup system because IT wants nothing to do with you. They wish you didn't exist. Oh, great. What kind of
Classic IT.
are these cassettes? Yep. have a blast. I don't even know how.
Wait, what?
I don't know how to do this. So it's like once a week when you get ready to leave for the day, you just go over and grab a rando cassette off the pile and go hit the button, back all that up.
Yep.
And then you leave, and then the next day you come in and find out what the timestamp was when it failed, and then you just throw it back on the pile. Best days of my life.
And then you had the Omega drives.
Oh, the zip drive.
Back to the pile.
I had the zip drive
man.
before that.
Zip drive.
Rolling with the Zip 250.
Yeah. I got one, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but this is awesome.
Oh, I used the heck out of mine.
I mean, I put
was
stuff
still
on
in
it, but-
school. I was still in school, and we had Zip 100 drives down in the graphics lab, so I used it constantly because
What was that, like 50
I do all my work in
megs?
my room.
50
No, the Zip 100
50
was
megs.
actually 100
100 megs,
100
man.
megs?
And I had the Zip
100
250 drive, which
Yeah.
could do 250 megabytes.
Oh, Lord.
You knew they were cool because they looked like floppies, but they were bigger and sturdier.
Okay. Our first computer that we ever owned
Okay.
was given to us by my uncle. It was a
gifter.
a Tandy 2000.
Tandy. Oh, boy. Is that your middle name, Tandy?
Tandy,
Is that
it should
your first
be.
name?
Yeah.
You guys can just call me
Oh,
Tandy.
that was canceled.
I know, it sure
Tandy.
was. Sure
Tandy
was.
knew.
Well, it kind of jumped the shark.
My first computer, Packard Bell 486 DX2, except when you opened it up, all of it was actually it was 486 ES. This was right before Packard Bell got the pantsuit off of them for rebranding models as a different models. And guess what? We apparently had that happen to us. 400 megabyte hard drive.
Whoa.
Came with 4 megs of RAM, replaced or added.
What did you do with all that space?
Make boot discs, and then,
Yeah.
and then we doubled it to 8 megabytes just so I could play
No.
Dark Forces.
What kind of baud you got on that modem, brah?
Oh, dude, we had a 56K modem, but the dirty phone lines.
Dang! 56K? You must have been a rich kid.
Oh, that was part of the deal.
Damn.
That was part of the deal.
Man.
My dad goes, "Hey, how would you feel if we had to move to Indiana?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I don't want to live in Indiana. Indiana's
Nobody wants to
Indiana's
live
a
in Indiana.
giant gap between Ohio and Illinois. I don't want to go there." And he goes, "Well, what would make you feel comfortable?" I'm like, "Are you trying to bribe me right now?" And he's like, "I'm just saying." Oh, quit it.
That was the best sound in the world.
No, the best sound was when that was stopped and you've got mail.
Yes.
Come on, nobody picked up the phone. Everything's going to be okay, baby. Time to go read about Star Wars and download Star Wars GIFs.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
you're
that's the
trouble
kind of
connecting
gifs
that
I was
on that one.
downloading.
Yeah, sure it was. Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
well, the
man.
Star Wars GIFs were like tiny, the little icon size things. You go download.
GIFs.
You want to download a real JPEG. You'll be sitting there waiting.
Well, I need some peanut butter.
Yep. Graphics. No one cares what the guy who invented it calls it.
Hi, my name's Mike.
Graphics, hard G.
Yeah, it's
I'm Mike.
GIF.
I'm eating peanuts.
I'm Corey.
Over there is
I'm Corey. Mike. Over there's
over the
Tandy.
master control.
Tandy
Newton.
2000
Yep.
SX or whatever it was.
Yep, that's right. And then across pond down a few is Jarrick.
Yo,
What's up, bro?
Jericho.
Dark. He's a dark Jedi.
You know, I've known two.
He's not a Sith.
I've known
There's
two
a difference.
Garricks in my life.
Yeah.
In high school, I hung out with a dude named Garrick for a while, and then in college, there was this crazy dude a couple doors down named Garrick.
What an idiot. That
And
dude sucked.
I've never in my life
His
known.
bowl cut,
I've never. He did have a
stupid face.
mushroom bowl cut back then. I've never known a Garrett. I've never known a Gareth personally.
Except Edwards.
I've never known. No, personally, I don't know Gareth Edwards. We don't hang.
Yeah, we do. Come on, man.
Yeah, we're on
I've
Twitter.
never
We
known-
know
I've
everybody
never
on Twitter.
known, like a Jarrick or Jarrett, any of these, but all of these are names that my mother has referred to Garrick by. And none of them are Garrick.
We have many monikers, many much monikers.
Pretty much.
So my oldest loves to put on Dude Perfect a lot now. And
Okay,
so we
that's a
watch
thing.
a lot of Dude Perfect on YouTube. And there's a Garrett.
Ah,
And I have a hard time saying Garrett.
It's not a real name.
No, it's not. but he has red hair.
it's made up. Uh-oh.
Nope.
Nope, you got to have brown hair a little bit.
Yep.
And
On the top.
And
Well,
red.
Oh, but he's not like bright red. It's a dark, like brownish red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Auburn.
Yep. Auburn.
Garrick's
Auburn.
Garrick's face carpet
Okay, Ann.
doesn't match his head drapes.
No.
So
It's awesome.
yeah, he's one of those people that when he grows a beard, it's just wild red Irishness.
It's mostly white now.
Is it? Oh no!
So you're turning into me.
Yep, turning into Howie.
I keep telling my wife
We are married.
She's
so.
got the reddish hair, and I keep saying you're gonna go like you keep making fun of the salt in my pepper, but when red hair goes, it goes all at once. So you just wait, and you're gonna be silver overnight, woman. She doesn't buy it. It's not happening yet, which is pissing me off. You know,
You can pour some bleach in there.
You know what's pissing me off?
throw it into the herbal essences.
Not talking about Star Wars.
Hey, we should do some of that because it's time for some news.
We are episode 93. It is Garrick.
We did. I said that.
I
He
know.
did. That's one of the few things that he said in that
Yeah.
introduction.
Oh, subscribe to YouTube. There, suck it, Mike. You happy? You bastard?
Yes.
That happens at the end, Corey.
Oh, no, technically, it doesn't happen at all.
We should say it throughout.
Every 5 seconds.
What is
Seriously.
our YouTube channel, Mike?
Seriously.
What's the news with YouTube?
Just do Fly Casual
Yeah.
podcast and you'll find it.
Is it just the album art in the background, or did you put it in like a slideshow that has nothing to do with what we're talking about? You didn't put that much effort in, did you?
We're going to start putting episodes up there.
That's right.
You need to check it out.
So
Just
If
saying.
if that is your place to get podcasting,
Increasingly, that is where people are going. So we are gonna
and we are going to join YouTube Live.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
You guys don't know that, but I'm working
Yeah.
on that.
we've always had aspirations.
It's going to be about
It's
6 years from now. But
Yeah, so if you're
YouTube
the
Live.
one
Is that
listener,
good?
yeah, oh yeah, it's great. If
Nice.
you're the one listener who's been like, I go out of my way, I walk 6 miles uphill in the snow both ways just to listen to Fly Casual. When really I'm more of a YouTube guy. Well, hey, or girl, there you go. You can listen to the Fly Casual on the YouTubes now. We're so advanced for a bunch of old.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Modern times.
Star Wars Resistance in the news this week.
Sucking and chewing on those
boys.
peanut shells. What do you
Oh,
got?
get over yourself, boy.
get those peanuts away from him.
Star Wars
I can't edit
Resistance.
that out. I cannot edit peanuts out.
I'm editing it out in my heart.
Star Wars Resistance in the news this week, boys.
Resistance.
So the big trailer dropped, and everybody's checking it out and digging on
Check
it,
it out.
or not digging on it, as the case may be. So I don't know. First reactions. What do you guys think, man? You excited for this series? What's going on?
Sure.
I'm excited.
Cell shaded. Why not?
Right? Huh?
I think the most divisive stuff that I've heard about it thus far is the animation style. I've heard people go both ways on
To
that.
me, is the most interesting part. I love that.
Yeah.
I love classic animation. And I know this is not.
I wouldn't call it classic.
Yeah, I was like, well, reboot?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the 3D animation that we've seen in Clone Wars.
Not
and
the
Rebels.
same 3D.
No.
It's styled.
It's
Cell shaded-ish.
right. So it's kind of, I guess, best of both worlds, maybe.
Well, I mean, you hope,
Yeah.
right?
Right. I like it. Again, that's the one thing that I actually do like about this trailer.
I don't-
I'm going to be the dissenter in the group.
No, that's fine. I don't love it, but it's not like it's really
I kinda
taking,
love it.
It's not taking anything away from me. Like I'm like it's like the first time I watched Avatar, right? I don't like anime. And Avatar Last Airbender is styled to be
Yeah, not
similar.
Avatar the movie.
No, it's styled to have similarities to popular anime, right? And so at first I was like, no, I don't think I can. But I sat down and watched it, and I learned to appreciate it just by getting involved in the character and the story stuff. And I'm assuming the same thing's going to happen for me with Resistance. So it's like, oh, it's that. Fine, whatever. Like, I don't feel a big rift with anybody about
I
it.
love
I'm like,
all
that's good.
kinds of different styles of animation, and this looks fun to me.
I'm
cool
happy
with it.
that it's different because Rebels
Yeah.
was very much like Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Very, very, very much, very similar. They they kind of picked up
it
the
had
same
its
tools.
own style, but yes.
Well,
similar.
they changed like the actual like movement animation, but the style of animation was almost exact.
I feel like Rebels was a little bit on the cheap compared to
Really?
Clone Wars. I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe at first. I felt like over the course of Rebels, it
It did get better. You're right. It got better. I just go back to there's probably season 1
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
can't I think of anybody's name now?
Ezra. Kanan.
When
Zeb.
Ezra and Kanan.
I'm only naming dudes.
Sabine, Hera.
Okay, fine.
Ezra
There you
and
go.
Kanan are
Gotcha.
training on top of the ship as the ship is flying, and he's and Ezra is standing up on his hands upside down, and his hair is like
perfectly static.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't get that far yet.
I don't know.
We made one hair model, and that is it.
That's when they didn't know how many seasons they were going to make.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well,
there's truth in that.
Rebels, hey, let's give Rebels credit where credit's due. I mean, it was a what's the word? TV / a cinematic platform, a cinematic medium about characters we knew nothing about. You know?
Yeah.
And we hadn't had that at that point. That was new. I mean, it started between Force Awakens and Rogue One, right?
Well, it was pretty different in the sense that Clone Wars we were touching characters all over the spectrum.
Right, but it was all grounded in the movies. And Rebels was a completely new thing. I'm not sure they were sure that it was going to land.
Yeah,
really.
I would agree with that assessment.
Makes sense.
You're probably right.
Makes sense that they kind of they did what they could and then doubled down when it stuck.
Yeah.
So,
but yes, I mean, very different animation style. Will be interesting. You're right. That's probably what most people are tweaking on the most this week is the animation style.
You know what I'm thinking?
I watched it didn't grab me. Nothing about the trailer grabbed me.
Nothing.
So.
Okay. I'm kind of with you on that. The only thing that grabbed me was the animation style because I liked it because it was different and it reminds me of things that I've enjoyed in the past.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying, basically, I was going to say, I'm agreeing with Howie, though. The rest of the trailer, I mean, there's nothing about the characters, the dialogue, the situations that we were presented that really interest me.
Right.
And I don't know. We'll find out if I'm in line with Howie on this one, but I'm probably going to refrain unless you guys
start
watch it
hard
and say, "Oh my gosh, it's the most amazing thing ever."
Well,
it's so good.
When I first watched the trailer,
it seems very basic to me.
And I'm hoping that's a result of just being held back, despite the fact that it's starting right around the corner, October, right?
Yeah, well, that's amazing to me. Like, it seems like it came out of nowhere.
Well, they could have been working on it for years, though.
They could have, but I'm just saying, it just seems that way.
Yeah, it does. It feels weird in that regard. But the funny thing is, same thing. The dialogue, the characters, like, oh, good, they talked to Poe. Well, he's as much as we always say, we want to like Poe, but we're just not feeling.
Done nothing to grab me with Poe.
Like, we don't hate Poe.
I like Poe.
We used to hate on his name.
I don't dislike Poe. I don't.
Poe.
I kind of nothing.
I don't Poe
because right. I mean, Poe is. I don't know.
But having said that, there was one thing that got me excited in the trailer, and I went to
Let me guess. It's a ship.
No, shut your pie hole. I went to Twitter to tweet about it, and Garrick beat me to it, son of a bitch.
Ha.
Yep. I went to Twitter, and right there at the top of my feed, Garrick had compared one of the ships in the trailer to the R-41 Star Chaser.
Oh, I love the R-41 Star Chaser. I was
so excited because I'm like, oh, we have like a cool new version, detailed version of what an R-41 might look like. Yeah. And yeah, he beat me to it.
Yeah, ships are not a good enough reason for me to want to.
No, right. Because it's not like you spent countless hours tooling around in like X-Wing Alliance and stuff like that, whereas we did. And like,
I flew one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ships are cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need story and character.
In the first fighter game, the Starfighter game, not the Jedi Starfighter.
In the Legends, Cad Bane actually flew one.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to this trailer, though, a lot of people had mixed reactions this week, as we've kind of indicated. So, of course, the animation style was discussed, but also the content, like we're talking about. And there are a lot of people that have pointed out, it's like, there doesn't seem to be anything interesting about this.
It feels and sounds like a commercial for an upcoming Disney XD kids show.
Okay, and I'm going down that road.
Right.
And here's the thing. That's the defense of this.
Right.
Is quit being a man, baby, because this is meant for kids.
10 o'clock at night is when this show airs.
Okay.
Is it really?
Yes.
Good point.
10 o'clock.
Wow.
And I do want to point out that, okay, since when does any Star Wars or
dude, everybody
Clone
said that.
Wars
People
or
have been saying that
Rebels.
same dumb comment since the prequels.
It's ridiculous.
The Jar Jar character's not bad. It's written for kids. I'm like, now it is.
I'm like, okay, if this is, I don't know.
And I always say, go back and look at the photos of the lines from the original trilogy. It is 98% adults in those lines.
Here's what I want to know. Is this going to be more Clone Wars Rebels? Or is this going to be more Star Wars, like Lego Star Wars?
Like chibi Star Wars?
Like Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of fun and goofy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to be that extreme, but
No.
it feels
But which extreme?
with this tiny little bit that we've had, it feels like it's leaning more into the goofy Star Wars direction than we've been used to.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, if this is just going to be like one-off episodes that don't really take us in any real direction, it's just a couple of characters and maybe there's a general direction. I don't know if I'm going to be that interested.
Yeah, like is the plot of this episode like we've got to deliver this crate of power converters to this space platform,
right?
But yet we're having an argument as friends and we don't trust each other that much. And someone spilled coffee on the dashboard. Like then it's going to be like okay,
right.
You know what this reminds me of? Kind of maybe a close analogy is the Star Wars Adventures comics.
Yeah.
The one that IDW puts out.
Absolutely.
And I love those. Yeah. They are very kid focused. I mean, the goofy stuff happens, but they're still very enjoyable for what they are. But they're very lighthearted and fun.
Nobody's letting their kids stay up till 10 o'clock on a Sunday night.
I know. That's where I'm confused.
10 o'clock on a school night.
That's where I'm confused. I don't understand how this works. It shouldn't be a kid's show if that's the case. So they're putting it in a time slot where, okay, they're walking that balance like they did with Rebels, where we want to make a show that's kid friendly, but it's for the adults to share with their kids. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going to reduce it to that. That's my marketing pitch. It's Star Wars for adults to share with kids. And this little trailer, this tiny small thing that they put out doesn't convey that feeling, but who knows? We have not seen enough. Here's the one thing I will give them credit for, because up till now, I mean, just about everything has been kind of the original saga era stuff. I mean, I guess Clone Wars is prequel era, but Rebels was more, close to the Rebellion era. This finally gets us into the Resistance era.
Yeah, close to
where we're at with the new saga.
Where we're at, yeah.
Or the new saga film. So, I guess I got to give them credit for, at least putting us there, because there are very few stories that have been told.
Well, they really need to do
part of the timeline.
They really need to add some depth to these characters, and I'm hoping that adds depth to Poe.
And that's the thing. By the end of the first episode,
Poe's not going to be a major character. I'm just telling you right now.
Right, I believe that.
No, because it's voiced by Oscar Isaac, right? So he's not going to come back every episode.
Oh, I didn't even know that. But
that's what I've heard.
But the first episode of Rebels, I didn't know what to expect going Rebels. By the end of that first episode, I was interested in Ezra, like the seeds were planted. Mm-hmm. So like any show that I commit to, I'm going to give this 3 or 4 episodes for the characters to hook me.
Right.
And if it hasn't happened by then, I don't know. It'll probably just be one of those fun little things that I watch whenever I've got time.
But you know what? One thing that we've kind of talked about, I think it's going to be okay. I think we need to start being okay with there are some Star Wars lines that I'm not as interested in and I'm not going to watch.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out where this lies.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't know yet.
Am I part of the target demo for this? Mm-hmm. The time slot indicates that I'm supposed to be.
Right.
The trailer does not. And
maybe
so
that was a typo. Maybe it's supposed to be 10 a.m.
Maybe.
No, maybe Saturday morning cartoons, baby.
It looks like a Saturday morning cartoon. It feels like a Saturday morning cartoon.
No, why don't they do that? That would be.
They do. I mean, we just mentioned the Lego Star Wars
shows,
there such
the
Yoda Adventures,
all those Saturday morning cartoons.
No, there isn't. They need to bring that back.
What was the Lego?
Make Saturday morning cartoons great again.
Lego one about that kid, the Starfinder Adventures or something weird like that.
I don't know. I thought it was the Yoda Chronicles.
There was a Yoda Chronicles.
There was that one.
There was this one about the family where the kid was force sensitive, brother and sister. I compared them to the Azamians from X-Wing Alliance, right. And the Wayfarer Adventures. I don't remember, something like that. And that's not bad. We're not the target demo, so we don't ever talk about it or review it other than, hey, they did this thing, and that's fine. There's no problem with that. But this looks like they're pushing it like this is the new one from that group that you like that did this show and this show that you liked, and we're putting it in the time slot that's for you, and hopefully this is just smoke and mirrors, or just, you know what I mean? And it's going to be exactly that. And we're going to really enjoy it. So
Star Wars Resistance, Disney Channel, 10 p.m. October 7th is a premiere date.
Right around the corner. That's less around the corner than Star Wars.
This is having
Christmas.
Does this have anything to do with the new Disney internet streaming service?
Yes, that is going to
probably be on there.
Yeah, this is going to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be on Disney XD again.
No, it says Disney Channel. but I'm sure they'll play it on there.
Yeah.
I have no predictions for how that's going to operate. Until it hits.
I think we reported a couple weeks ago that, they're trying to get the rights back to the movies. That's going to be part. I think all of this material is going to end up on their Disney Pay channel. It has to.
One would
I would imagine.
Don't ever say it has to in the
I don't know,
ball, dude.
I was going to say they may do a rotation. If they're going to get people to pay for this service, they're going to have to provide all of it, I think, out of the gates. And
this is Disney. They can
I'm just
get
telling
by.
you,
Yeah, it's going to premiere this fall on Disney Channel and in the U.S. and thereafter on Disney XD around the world. So we're all right. But the streaming service is still a big unknown. I can't believe how little we know about the streaming service, given how.
Well, I'm saying about the only way they're going to get me to pay that kind of money that they're talking about is that they provide their catalog, or pretty much most of it,
Mike,
if not all of it.
Do you have a Disney Parks membership? Do you go twice a year to a Disney?
There are lots of people.
There are a lot of people that do, man. There are people who are psycho who will pay big money for access to Disney. There's a lot of grandmas who will throw disposable retirement income at a subscription service so the kids can be happy when the rare case that comes.
I like Disney.
It's not going to be. I do too, but I'm not going to subscribe to that service if I don't get a pretty hefty portion of their catalog out of the gate.
I love Disney as a collection of properties. I don't have a lot of faith in Disney as a business that is consumer first. Although I have more faith in Disney to be consumer first than a lot of other similar businesses, only because Disney knows that if you feel like they're consumer first, you'll be more loyal. That's good business. So I think that a lot of times they do right in that regard, but this is and I don't mean to keep making the same joke. This is the same company that created the vault to create artificial scarcity to keep the prices up on old properties. This is the same company that made a huge business out of not selling you what you want, so that you'll pay more when they go, well, we're releasing the Aristocats for 2 months only. We're bringing it out of the vault. Oliver and Company.
I'm just saying I won't be interested in that.
Yeah.
I won't.
No, I know.
Can I tell you some things that'll get you interested about this show?
Turn them around.
All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Yep.
There's a character named Hype Phazon. Voiced by Donald Faison.
I'm in.
Yeah.
That makes it worth it right there.
Yep. Hashtag hype turd.
Yeah. That cranked it up about 25%.
Wait, but there's more, guys. There's more. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
There's a character called Niku.
Good.
Voiced by Joshua Max Brenner.
Yul Brenner's grandchild?
No.
Oh, I'm out. I'm back.
AKA Big Head.
Spaghetti. Nelson Spaghetti.
Wow.
Wait. There's more, guys.
He has a very distinct voice.
There's more.
Yeah.
You guys ready for this? There's a character called Flix, voiced by James Rash. AKA the Dean from Community.
Yep. Jim Rash.
That? You like that?
Also a very distinct voice. I do like the fact that they are getting characters with distinct voices. That's something where early on with Rebels, I wasn't real into their voices, although they warmed up on me considerably very quickly. But early on, it was like if I closed my eyes, I had trouble figuring out who was talking, because Ezra! Not because they were all confusing, but because the characterizations just weren't sticking that hard. So yeah, but then again, more wacky voices typically means
Corey,
more silly.
This is the icing on the cake for you.
Oh boy.
You guys ready for this?
Oh.
There's a character named Orca.
Go for it.
Voiced by Corey's favorite actor of all time,
Philip Seymour Hoffman's corpse.
Bobby Moynihan. You love Bobby Moynihan, right?
Bobby
Did I get
Moynihan.
that right? Yeah, from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, actually, I don't dislike him.
Oh, dang it.
Of a lot of the people that have come out of there, I don't dislike
who's
the Bobster at all. He's also
voicing Snap
he's
Wexler?
one of Huey, Dewey, or Louie on DuckTales.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Him and Abed from Community and John Raffio from Parks and Rec are huge.
And it'll also feature Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron and Gwendolyn Christie as Captain Phasma.
Yeah. I actually, speaking of Bobby Moynihan, go and watch some interviews with Bobby Moynihan. He's an interesting dude. He's like one of those people that like, he's very real about his time on SNL. Like he's a lot more down to earth than a lot of the wackadoo people that go through that rotation. I kind of dig him of all of them. So that's not bad.
There you go. Good. It's a good voice cast, I guess. I don't know who the main character's name is. Oh, it's Christopher Sean. I don't know who that is, but apparently he's been on Hawaii Five-0.
Is that show still on?
Maybe.
The remake of Hawaii Five-0?
Well, it was on for a long time. So.
Yeah, many decades ago.
Pretty
much. I mean, it had like.
I think it's a reboot. The reboot of Hawaii.
5 or 6 seasons at least.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I watched like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Those traditional cable networks that had all the original programming like TNT, USA, and all those. I've loved TBS.
Grace Park or Park Grace.
Although you might know him from the Mindy.
Galactica on it. So.
You might know him from the Mindy Project, where he played Frat Bro number 2.
That's the one.
Yep. I remember now.
Nailed it.
Yep.
I know that because I'm the president of the Mindy Project fan club.
I know.
Yeah. We
love the Mindy Project so much.
Yeah, we call ourselves M-Pros.
So Dave Filoni.
I made that up for anyone who wasn't totally certain just now.
Dave Filoni, a.k.a. Filoni is Dave in the news this week.
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
Dave the Hat Filoni.
Dave the Wolf Filoni.
Excuse me,
Mike? The wolf.
The wolf. I'm sorry. I meant to say wolf.
That word correctly.
I meant to say wolf. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
David the Wolf Filoni.
I don't think you can use that.
Yeah.
With Star Wars Resistance in the news.
That's Harvey Keitel, bro. He's the wolf.
Yeah. Harvey Keitel.
That was his nickname, the Wolf?
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. But okay.
Oh, and it's a Pulp Fiction reference. That's why it went over my head. Got it.
I see. Well, with Star Wars Resistance in the news this week, Dave Filoni has also been in the news.
Of course. Being the head of the Star Wars animation.
Yeah, seeing as how he was the driving force in both the Clone Wars and Rebels, everybody assumed that, there we go, that he would also be the driving force in Star Wars Resistance. That, however, is not the case.
I don't know why people assume that because he
had that big old promotion. Remember that?
And that was before season 4 of Rebels hit. He was already saying that he was handing a lot, like most of the day-to-day responsibilities over.
So yeah, on that note, I don't remember what his title is now. It's some kind of creative director on the animation side, and he's not involved in the day-to-day anymore. He's kind of like more of a Kathleen Kennedy role, actually, over the animation side of things.
In his words, he, for the animation, is in a lot of ways serving the role that George Lucas served during Clone Wars, where the stories and major character changes and stuff have to go across his desk. Basically, everything gets pitched to him.
Right. So this is Filoni. Filoni says Resistance is a bit different in that I am not on the day-to-day. I created and set it in motion, but I've given that to other people to raise up. People that I've worked with a long time who I think deserve that opportunity to tell stories that I think are exciting. And I give them my thoughts and notes. I was just doing that this morning, he says, like George would with me in the past. So,
he's George Lucas.
Exactly, on a mini level.
So baby George Lucas.
It is very substantial.
I mean, if we look at it like every year there's going to be one or more Star Wars animation shows on TV, then he is overseeing more content than George Lucas was overseeing for many, many years. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For certain.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's just more. It's not that I wouldn't say it's not that he's on a micro scale, even though it is contained with animation. I would just say there's just a lot more.
There's a lot of comparisons, or maybe even some dreams, hopes, maybe even that he would be taking over for Kathleen Kennedy in the near future, with rumors of her possibly exiting Lucasfilm this fall.
I don't think he would want to, but I don't want to see him ruined by that type of a position.
I don't either.
I don't wish that upon anybody. As much as we've been willing to be real and criticize Kathleen Kennedy, which we have all been fanboys of Kathleen Kennedy historically.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to be able to do that job and get away unscathed.
Yeah.
Period.
It's different now.
Why? Because we're extreme.
Extreme.
To the max. Suck, Howie.
Yeah.
All these rumors about that he's going to be handed that position, the KK position, I think are in my opinion, quite overblown.
Yeah.
The guy, the guy doesn't have near the resume that KK has.
No.
So for him taking over all of Lucasfilm,
people used to think Darth Vader was a robot. So
that's
true.
It's true. There's truth in that.
Robot Vader.
Yeah.
You're
as a side note, Hawaii Five-0 starting its 9th season.
Wow.
Holy crap.
What?
It's going to be supernatural before I know it.
That's right.
I'm going to be like, hey, guys, I finally got in Hawaii Five-0. And they're like, let me know when you get to season 18, dude. I'm like, oh, what?
That's like CSI. They're like in season, 27?
Whoa.
Is that when are they going to do a crossover with Magnum PI?
Oh, they should.
Oh.
They totes.
That's in Hawaii, right?
This fall,
looking
isn't
forward
it?
to the new Magnum. Yeah,
Me too.
I'm going to give that a shot. I liked the Lethal Weapon show originally.
Hello.
Yeah, they're bringing in Sean William Scott now to replace the other dude what got Me Too'd out of the job or something. Or no, he was just angry on set and abusive to everybody.
Who isn't these days?
I don't know. I was kind of surprised by that.
I'm always abusive.
But I like the chemistry.
I know. I'm married to him.
With Damon Wayans. I enjoy that.
Did they make out or something?
Only in my fanfic.
Nice.
And other people's fanfic.
Lucasfilm in the week this.
I'm the head of a Lethal Weapon.
The week this news.
I'm the head of a Lethal Weapon fanfic guild.
What's it called?
We call ourselves Letweps.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice name.
Yeah. That was nice.
Well, guys.
Maybe they'll do a crossover with the Mindy Project.
Oh, man. You don't want to get the Letweps and the M-Pros in the same room together, dude. That is not a bomb that can be contained. I'm sorry.
Like oil and water.
Yeah. It really is.
Speaking of oil and water.
We got a mid-peanut suck over there, so give him a sec.
Cinema Blend in the reporting this week.
Cinema Buns.
There were some rumors come out of Lucasfilm regarding films that have been put on hold, and there was the whole production reset thing that went around a couple months ago, and everybody, whoa, you had all the people going, well, it's not what you think it means. Everybody else going, how is it not what we think it means? Oh no, I mean they're not, it's not, they're not stopping it. The Last Jedi didn't suck. We hate you. So yes, there's a lot of questioning going on because yes, the initial rumors were that everything has been put on hold except Ep9. And then Lucasfilm came out and said, no, that's not true. We're working on all kinds of cool stuff. And
you don't even know.
It's all back on track, baby. We're good.
Woo! Boba Fett movie, Obi-Wan movie.
When the train tracks have two directions, forward and backward.
Crossover with Magnum PI movie.
Train ice,
I love train. But when the train tracks go forward and backward, stopping the train or going super, super slow, reducing the speed dramatically, they can still say, oh, no, we're still going forward. We're still going forward. Like, yeah, but we're not going to get to Salt Lake City for like another 3 months at this pace, bro.
Why'd you want to go to Salt Lake City?
Because the airport goes to a lot of other places on the West Coast.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. It's a great little place to do a little later.
And they got a lot of red salty sand.
You come in over the Great Salt Lake there in a plane sitting low, looking down the window. It's a sight to behold. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, talking from experience.
That's salt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to get salt. Not like Mike's peanut.
Okay, so
I hope you said peanuts
this with a grain of salt.
No, he didn't say
grain
peanuts.
Of salt that I'm sucking on this peanut right now. But that Ep9 is being worked on, of course, like we said. But Cinema Blend is also claiming that James Mangold, you might know from Logan, right?
Yep.
I like that guy.
I do know him from that.
Yeah, that
I know him personally.
According to Cinema Blend, and now this is different than what I've heard, but they're claiming that he is actually actively working on a Boba Fett film. Okay. Now, I haven't heard anything official from Lucasfilm on this, but
that'd be awesome.
If it's like Logan,
they did not call me this week to verify.
Awesome.
But
Mike's like, whoa, my special beepers.
Their claim is that these are the two films that they are working on currently. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which would fly in the face of all those Obi-Wan rumors that we're hearing forever and ever. Okay, so there is an art production person that has revealed that from the inside, he was working on a film, but like some pre-production art for a film that included the planet of Tatooine. Okay. So a lot of people
pre-production art, the kind of stuff that goes up on a big corkboard, and they used to let George Lucas just run around and hit everything with a staple gun. Yep.
Well, with a little stamp, his little stamp of approval.
I like to think it was just a little staple gun. He just like it didn't serve a purpose. George just really liked stapling shit. So they just let him walk around. I like this. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. All right. Thank you, George.
So there's a claim this week that they were working on this particular film, and Tatooine. So now, of course, everybody is assuming Tatooine equals Obi-Wan equals it's been put on hold or canceled or what have you at this point. So
Tatooine equals Obi-Wan. Go along with me.
I mean, it does.
That seems
seems
plausible to me.
Literally every Star Wars property that existed in the past went to Tatooine.
I get you, man. But so what? I mean,
Jedi Academy. Here, go to Tatooine for a single level for no reason and shoot things around the Falcon. Okay, here I go.
So anyway, everybody is assuming that the Obi-Wan movie was tied to these Tatooine scenes. I don't disagree with that. I mean, that's the obvious takeaway.
Seems fair to posit that as a potential presumption.
Which is upsetting to me because that was probably of all. I was probably looking more forward to Obi-Wan than I was Boba Fett.
I was early in the history of this podcast. I was so against the idea of an Obi-Wan movie, and I was so on board recently. I was so on board.
Well, I hope at some point they pick that back up. But there were also some other comments made that have led people to believe that quite possibly, and these comments are pretty vague in my opinion, but they're leading some people to believe that a trilogy was also canceled, which would equate in some people's minds to Rian Johnson.
Don't you say it. Don't you say it.
He said it.
He said it.
Oh my gosh.
So of course all the haters.
I can smell the torches on the front lawn. I can hear the pitchforks clanging together.
All over this one and saying they're celebrating, slapping each other high five this week.
Are the haters actually saying that, or are the people who hate the haters saying that the haters are saying that?
That could be.
I can't tell anymore.
For sure, the haters are at least hopeful. And I'm sort of in that.
I was going to say, you count yourself amongst that. I still have a morbid curiosity of what Rian Johnson would look like apart from the saga films.
No interest.
But that's all it is a morbid curiosity.
Yeah, morbid being the operative word there. So.
What if it's about time travel and he has a young actor play an old actor?
I do love time travel.
Yeah, just saying. What if it's a trilogy about flow walking?
What if it includes Harrison Ford and Alden Ehrenreich?
Ooh.
Well, Harrison
they meet each other.
Older. Harrison Ford
has to go back in time.
Is several years older.
Would you say he loops back in time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
I'm thinking that might be the ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. The only problem is, how do you get the Millennium Falcon up to 88 parsecs per hour? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Good question. That's a really good question.
So I think this is a little premature.
Yeah.
Premature.
You are praying.
It's a little premature to say that Rian Johnson's trilogy has been canceled.
But it is definitely something that no one has said a word about.
Very good.
Before
that was going to be my next point, is that even Brian has been very quiet lately for Rian Johnson standards.
Well, I'd like to believe that Rian Johnson would be quiet because he's busy.
Yeah, he's making a trilogy.
But I've still, what little he has been saying, that still has had the mark of like Twitter quibbling, which isn't usually something you see someone who's actively working on a project doing. But it has been way less than usual.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think right now all the evidence, which is circumstantial, I'm sure that means something.
Sure.
All the circumstantial evidence points to probably not the Rian Johnson trilogy, but nothing's
official.
Yeah, we can't get a warrant yet.
Yeah,
we can't. Mark Hamill can't get the warrant.
Not yet. So yeah, at least according to Cinema Blend, only 2 official films again: F9 and Boba Fett. I guess you guys excited?
Oh, it's official!
Absolutely.
Boba Fett
again, according to Cinema Blend. So.
with Logan guy. So
yeah, I read Cinema Blend on the regular. I used to read Screen Rant as much, but Screen Rant decided to start doing like, hey, 12 things about this. Page 1. We're going to tell you the first thing on the next page. Next page. Here's one thing for the next thing on the next page. I'm like, you know what? Done with that.
So yep.
Long pages. That's where I live on the internet.
Yippers.
So Cinema Blend is not free of guilt from doing this, but lately I feel like Cinema Blend has started going, hey, people click on Star Wars stuff a lot and we don't have anything to say. So find one tiny little tweet and try to make a story out of it. And that's 90% of their coverage. So I've started tuning them out. Started. Mark Hamill told me.
I think you got to take all of it with a grain of salt. Except when Cinema Blend reports production photos that have been leaked, baby.
What?
Mike, this is a sensitive subject.
From Boba Fett?
Yeah.
No, not Boba Fett, my friend.
Oh.
F9, baby, F9.
Oh.
So Cinema Blend. Cinema Blend got their hands on a production photo that
a handful of production.
A whole handful?
Well, no, I think the ones that you're talking about were for someone else.
Oh.
Cinema Blend has, they're just reporting on a tweet from, who is this guy? Dan Mindel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Mindy.
Yeah.
Good old Mindy. Good old Mindy.
Anyway, a lot of people were tweaking on this photo this week. It is a production photo from inside the studio.
Oh, that photo. Right,
yes, right. Where there's a ton of green screen and almost nothing else.
No, there's a lot of really cool structures around, but because it's all reliant on green screen to fill in the gaps, it's hard to tell exactly what it is, but it's cool. Look, it's a cool photo.
It looks like something that Ron Howard would have tweeted.
Yeah, because there's also something very cleverly covered up.
Yes.
In the photo.
Yes. You want to talk about that?
Oh boy.
I don't want to talk about what we think might be there because the photo was definitely taken with we're calling it a leaked photo. I don't know that I buy that.
Not really. I don't think it is.
Because it looks like it was very intentionally staged.
I was going to say this would have been ripped right down because this is someone who claims to be in the production. So.
Yeah. That person would have been fired.
Right.
So
obviously this was somewhat approved on some level.
Right. This is not the one that has the sensitivity around it.
Well, some people are saying that they see on the floor a symbol that is it's a Jedi symbol of some sort that we saw
from the books.
Last Jedi.
The secret text.
Oh, the secret.
Oh, secret text.
Oh, stuff that Rey stowed away on the Falcon.
I don't know. That was only 2 frames of film, so I couldn't verify for you. Sorry, when I pause the stream, it's blurry and there's tracking issues.
Okay, well let's assume for just a moment that that's 100% true. I don't know what this production photo tells you. If that symbol is in this
picture. Guess what? There's going to be some more Jedi stuff.
What?
Whoa!
Spoiler alert!
In Star Wars?
Dare you?
No way!
No.
So yeah,
we haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet.
This photo is pretty benign.
Yeah, but it was cool. It's a cool photo. I think it's a really cool looking set.
It is.
Don't know what it is, but it looks cool.
Well, and you, by going to betterkind.com and clicking on the show notes for episode 193.
Open up a new tab if you're listening on YouTube. What's our channel name again, Mike?
Just go to Fly Casual Podcast.
There you go, on the YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yippers.
You're double welcome.
You can listen and go to betterkind.com and follow the show notes and look at these pictures for yourself. So check it out.
Warning, if you have a stick 3 foot wide wedged up your butthole, these aren't the photos for you.
Aww.
Now, what would be awesome, Mike, is while at the point we're talking about this, if you would cycle through the photos.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, Mike, put a lot more effort in.
Okay. Well,
it's
come on, Mike, do effort.
We are going to cycle through these next photos. And for those with sensitive eyes and ears, I guess this is
my freaking ears.
Okay, so historically, and those who follow on Twitter have seen some of my snark about this. Historically, and this even goes back to before we even were doing a Star Wars podcast, when we tried to do just a movie podcast, like a movie nerd podcast. You remember those days, Mike?
I do.
Way back when.
Way back.
There were arguments.
I don't remember that.
We did a episode.
No, I think we did 2.
We
did one sitting, 2 episodes.
I don't know.
I was not invited.
No. Oh, hell no.
This is before you existed.
Garrick? Fuck Garrick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Screw that guy.
Yeah.
But we would, even at that point, I was like, we can't spoil the movies that we're talking about if they're new. And you're like, it's been out for like 3 weeks. I'm like, dude, that's not okay. Like I feel like I'm a somewhat
spoil all person. The things.
In fact, I would say I'm a little extra sensitive. I don't like things spoiled for me. I don't like it. But
I love it.
In this case, despite what Twitter might say, I feel like this is the kind of stuff you would see in like Rolling Stone when they roll out.
These are production
These are
photos.
so benign. I mean, these are snapshots.
Very benign.
They're snapshots. It's not like a professional photographer. So they've got that grainy look of leaked photos, right? That's great. Oh my gosh, these are so benign. But yet when I saw them on Twitter, I didn't think for a second about retweeting and adding my dumb comment to it.
Yeah, right.
Which has garnered a handful of likes, I'm proud to say.
How much is a handful? 5?
Yes.
Nice.
I know. I'm living high on the hog. High on the Twitter.
I think I maxed out at 3.
Yeah, I usually do too.
Well, these are pretty benign. So
it's Mike.
You decide.
And me.
and Fly Casual.
You decide. You, the listener, should decide if you want to keep listening for the next couple 2-3 minutes.
Well, I'll just here you go. No, I'll describe them without actually saying who or what's in the content, right? But I'll describe.
Oh, I'm going to say who's in there. Completely.
It's not spoiler cast.
It is a spoiler cast.
Anyway, but yeah, basically these shots are just showing, a grassy field and a couple of characters in some benign costumes. Some
recognizable characters, and maybe some on other photos, some characters that we don't know.
Just they could be freaking background extras. Who knows? Who cares?
Who knows? Could be anybody.
I do care, Corey. I care.
Mike cares.
I'm just saying, right after I retweeted this, some people that I interact with frequently immediately tweeted, not to me, but just in general. So if you're going to tweet like spoiler pictures for Star Wars, I'm just going to go ahead and block you from my feed, blah, 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 blah. Like within like 2 minutes of me retweeting this. And I'm not saying that I'm responsible. But
like you didn't know these folks were going to be in the new Star Wars film, right?
Exactly.
Come on.
And so I'm like, okay, these characters, none of the characters died in previous films. And they haven't the actors haven't died in real life. So I feel it's safe to say,
as far as we know,
that they're going to be in the movie. And at some point, they're going to be outside instead of inside.
Mm-hmm.
And also, okay, the biggest spoiler of the whole thing, they're going to share a moment of screen time, which they have done in the previous 2 movies as well.
Well, there's grass.
There's grass. There's grass and 2 characters in the same shot.
I'm pretty sure Lucasfilm said these 2 characters would be in the movie also.
Sure, we already know that. There is nothing.
I think they did a press release saying, yeah, these characters are returning.
Now, unless you are anal and more anal than us and are able to spot minutia that is lost on us, which I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying for most people it's unlikely because we're anal nerds too. There's nothing to be sensitive about here. You know. I'm sorry. I really do try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm really, and
there's a lot of hair in one of the photos.
Look, I'm just going to spill the beans.
Well, guess what? There's a story about there being a lot.
Oh, here comes the beans, everybody.
The beans. It's
watch out for the beans.
Just talking to Snoke. Sorry. I just had to say
in a mirror.
And Mara Jade's in the background.
Yeah. Wearing a robe with a red lightsaber. Not a
holding a picture of her father, Luke.
Nice.
You like that?
Yeah, it's her father, Luke, because it says from dear old dad XOXOXO.
It's got a picture of him, thumbs up.
But he's half faded because Thanos just took him out.
Love you, hon. Yep. Word.
Yeah. This is much ado about nothing.
They're fun to look at if you want to look at them.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I saw the pictures and I wasn't.
Well,
not a single.
The only thing
cringed.
the only thing that people might get upset about, and it's understandable. I don't get upset about this, but seeing costumes that they don't want to see. But
these costumes in particular are also completely benign. It's like, oh, guess what? This character wears blue pants in this movie instead of brown.
What?
Well, that might mean something.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might be part of the Blue Man group now.
Also, those blue pants, ugly. That's an ugly costume. I'm saying that right now.
I like it.
No, I'm not.
Well, okay, they're using blue screen.
Velvety.
Navy blue pant screen. They're like, why paint the whole pool green when
all I have to say
doesn't have any legs?
Are those Corellian blood stripes?
What?
Yeah, I have faith in them.
He pulled him off Han before he fell off into the abyss.
Yeah, he actually tried to save him by grabbing his pant leg. And Han, being old and feeble, just slid right out of him.
I have to wear other people's clothes at all time.
I didn't wear my suspender.
So that character's thing is just stealing other people's clothes and wearing them.
Yeah, man.
That's consistent.
Yeah,
that's all I need. Okay, it's canon. It's as long as it's consistent.
Stealing shit.
Now they make a comic about it, about his escapades of stealing people's clothes.
I'd read that.
I just don't want him sneaking into Ray's room.
By the way, that would add depth to that character. I'm just saying.
It would actually. Yeah,
Sneaking into Ray's room?
Sneaking into Ray's room, stealing her clothes,
stealing her shoes,
doing a panty raid,
doing a little sniffy. Yeah.
Jesus.
Whoa.
You went,
dude.
like,
see,
I was trying to do the shoe thing. You're the one that said the underwear.
I was one toe over the line, sweet Jesus.
Wow.
When I said panty raid,
family show.
I'm already invoking humor from the 70s that you're not allowed to do anymore.
I was trying to do shoe humor.
But you gotta listen.
For me.
You gotta listen. You gotta listen.
I know. We're supposed to interact with each other.
Yeah.
That was terrible. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Mike came clean, everybody. Wait. Are you Mike or Mike?
My name is Mike, and I'm doing a preemptive
apology. Well, good on you, sir. Good on you, sir. And I salute you for it. What's next?
I salute you. Mark Hamill in the news this week.
Oh, boy.
This is some interesting news this week. Hams.
Mark.
And apparently, Mark has taken on a new role. He's becoming a knight. A different kind of knight, though.
The Knights of St. John.
Mark Hamill filming Nightfall Season 2.
And what type of knights are in Nightfall?
Is that the one where Batman got his back
broken?
Batmans. all the Batmans.
All the Batmans.
Mark Hamill is the next Batman.
Bane breaks his back again.
Yeah.
Ooh, really? Is that what's going on here?
That's what's in
the animated one?
I see.
I'm assuming.
He's playing the Joker.
It's about the Knights Templar. Or as I like to say before people started watching documentaries, the Knights Templar. Everybody calls them Templars now. Oh, the Templars. Like, what happened to Templar? I like Templar. It sounds crazy and more impactful. Yes, the poor Knights of St. John.
I know nothing about this.
St. John, right? I got that.
Is he playing the head of Baphomet?
One can only.
Baphomet?
Oh, deep history cut. Baphomet.
Deep cut.
He's playing just the head.
Just the head.
You say BattleNet?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Do you have your authenticator, Howie, or you're not getting in?
Yep.
Yep. You don't want to know what it's like to move that thing. They wedged that up in
I've done that before, and it went much smoother than your...
I did, and it did not. But,
well, boys, that's all I had for news.
Oh, my goodness. That means it's time for the return of Porkins. Came with Porkins by the week.
What?
He took vacation, and now he's back.
Finally. That's different.
That guy.
You're different.
You want me to hang around? Don't piss me off.
Yeah, Garrick.
Bring it.
Dang.
I don't know if y'all know this, but the Carrie Fisher will play the Princess Leia. They're the good reason why her and Mark Hamill were chosen to play brother and sister. Whether or not that was originally in the car. There's a happy accident, maybe. I'll let you decide. You see, Carrie Fisher's ancestry shares both Swedish ancestry and Jewish ancestry. Mark Hamill has both Swedish ancestry and Jewish ancestry. I don't know if y'all know this. Natalie Portman has both Swedish history and Jewish ancestry.
What?
And Hayden Christensen has both Swedish
don't tell me.
No.
and Jewish ancestry.
What?
Hot
Yeah.
damn.
Watch you by
It's
Ancestry.
like they're all related.
Look at that. Nice.
Thomas Mother Jefferson.
His last name's Christensen, though.
George Thomas Jefferson Lucas.
Yep.
Leave it to the GL, baby.
Yep. Do it. Hey, everybody.
He sure knows his racial profiling.
Doesn't he, though?
Hey, what's Ray's background? Out of curiosity.
British.
So British.
Well, damn.
Fudge.
Maybe she comes from reavers that raped and pillaged along the countryside like yours and my ancestors did, Mike. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And on Serenity.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
She's so British. I'm so disappointed.
Like 100%.
Ugh. Oh, wait. So was our country originally.
Oh,
crikey.
Right.
Brits.
Nigel. So I hate to announce this, but we do have another guest returning.
It's not my fault. This is not my. Well, maybe
why
it is
don't
my
anybody
fault.
tell me anything?
This
about
could be my
have
fault.
A seat. Just sit down. Have a seat, everybody. It brings me great pains to reintroduce, after a long and well-deserved absence,
I smell them already.
Mr. Fanboy Y. Thank you, one and all. Hello, everyone. How have you been? I'm just kidding. I don't care.
Been better.
Of course.
Greetings and salutations, nerdkin. It is I, Fanboy Y, and I have sullied myself by descending into this cesspool of booze and vitamin D deficiencies to bring unto you both noise and funk alike.
Funk alike.
That's right. I am most humbled to bear the bowels of my very soul and introduce unto all of you the aptly titled Hypothetical Headcanon featuring Fanboy Y, who is me.
You used to have some music.
You can work on that in the off-season. Trekkies, brown coats, Star Wars nerds. Lend me your elongated Vulcan/Rhodian or perhaps Reaver-removed ears, for I present to you the following scenario. What if Darth Maul hadn't died in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace? Now, before you pelt me with incessant claims of fabled retcons and cybernetic ambulatory appendages, might I remind you that for all intents and purposes, after the cerulean blade of one young Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi Esquire fanned itself through his very midsection, Darth Maul was absolutely considered dead by character, creator, and audiences alike. What with being cloven completely in twain, so punctuated by a poignant, if not gentle, waft of arterial spray. Correct?
Correct.
Exactly. Well, what if George Lucas had not chosen to introduce a villainous flavor of the week with each prequel film, only for all to be unceremoniously dispatched in undeniably disappointing devices and subplots? What if we had known that Maul lived when the credits rolled that day? What if we'd seen him injured, desperately reaching out to his master, only to be ignored and left for dead? What if we'd seen that hatred split between Jedi and Sith alike in real time, rather than simply have it revealed to us years later? Essentially, at the crux of the concept, gentlemen, what if Darth Maul had not been abandoned by the saga films? Would we have seen him develop as a tertiary subplot looking for twice the revenge and the power he believed he was entitled to? Would we have had even more respect for Palpatine's ability to puppet his giant plan on galaxy-wide domination, given he had not only had to maintain appearances to the Republic, but continually thwart the dark machinations of his former apprentice? Could Darth Maul have potentially become an inversed equal to Darth Vader of the original trilogy, having lost his position of power instead of gaining more, and seeking revenge on his master from the very start, and then ultimately failing rather than serving his master faithfully and then betraying him at the last minute? What if that final showdown on Mustafar wasn't a delicate glow stick battle between Annie Pavlova and Mikhail Konobishnikov, but in fact was a battle of hateful wills between Maul and newly christened Darth Vader, with Maul intent on defeating the final figure that stood between himself and the ability to take his rightful place beside a neglectful master, while Vader was simply forced to swat at the fly, buzzing about his decades-bred hate comprised of isolation and fear. Imagine being Obi-Wan,
arriving to find Anakin and Maul in the final strained throes of lethal combat, silhouetted by the glow of molten rock. Your very apprentice, who's fallen so far, who slaughtered men, women, and children alike, locked at the blade with a ghost, the very man who murdered your master, who you believe to be long dead. Imagine not knowing what to do, not understanding which victor would lead to darkness or more darkness. That is, until you feel the hand pulling limply at your tunic. And there she lay lying on the ground, on the landing platform, her eyes bulging and red, struggling to breathe through a crushed windpipe. Indeed, Padme lay dying. Even after the holo recordings you've seen back on Coruscant, you know this is beyond your apprentice's doing. Padme, you shout as you stoop and pull her upright, tilting her head back so she can breathe. What's Maul done? No, she wheezes as she fights for air, her nostrils flaring as if grasping at the ashy wind. It was Anakin. Your eyes immediately grow as hers appear to fade, her muscles going limp in your arms as consciousness slips away into the stifling heat. Unbeknownst to you, Padme had beaten you here in pursuit of Anakin. But when she'd confronted him about what he'd done at the temple, it tested his control, that she would be so ungrateful for such a sacrifice. And that, unfortunately, when Anakin had been at his weakest, is when Maul revealed himself. Anakin had simply slipped back into darkness as Maul stood motionless across the pad. Padme had seen the life leave his eyes, and she begged, pleaded even for Anakin to walk away, but Anakin knew, without even a word spoken, that this man would be his undoing, their undoing. But Padme is nothing if not persistent, And Maul's red blade, as it hissed to life, Anakin had to remove her from harm. With one deft motion, he used the Force to hurl her behind him, and she slammed into a wall. Anakin, she shrieked. Her renowned talents for self-control completely abandoned and replaced by blood-curdling terror. For a moment, he paused and cast his eyes back with concern, seeing her there, slumped on the ground, tremendous pain and struggling to stand. What had he done? But then a slow, bassy laugh grew from across the platform. Anakin's head spun again, finding the dark figure hadn't moved, but now he could see a toothy grin in the red glow of the figure's blade. Anakin's rage swelled faster than ever before, his gloves creaking as they tightened around his saber. There was nothing human left in him when two small hands clasped desperately around his shoulders from behind. Anakin, no! But it was too late. Before Padme could realize what had happened, she was pinned by her very neck against the warm, grease-stained durasteel of the landing pad. Looming over her, Anakin stood with one hand outstretched, as if grasping at the air between them. She tried to plead for her life, but she could neither breathe nor speak. And that was the moment when, for her, hope was finally lost. I'm doing this for you, for us, Anakin had cried. A mixture of anger and desperation spilled across his face. Why can't you understand? Padme felt blood vessels bursting in her skin as she struggled to answer. But that's when the dark figure decided he'd seen enough and began his charge. Anakin turned to meet his blade, and Padme simply collapsed, her heart and spirit finally broken. But as Obi-Wan, you hadn't seen all that. All you know was that Anakin had the blood of hundreds on his hands, including the woman he loved most. Anakin belonged to the dark side now, and that very dark side was fighting itself for supremacy before your very eyes. Ultimately, of course, Anakin will go on to win his battle with Maul. He would do what you, Obi-Wan, had failed to do, which is rid the galaxy of this menace once and for all. It wouldn't be the saber wounds or anything so superficial to finish Maul off. But when Anakin had gripped Zabrik's exhausted body with the Force and held him aloft over a river of lava, allowing Maul to writhe in pain as he was slowly lowered into his fiery grave, well, that's when you know that Anakin would never return to the light. Anakin, you'd cry. It is done, would be the only answer. Not like this, Anakin, you'd find yourself pleading. We live our lives to adhere to a higher ground, not by allying ourselves with darkness. What would you have had me do, Obi-Wan? I've sacrificed everything. Yes. Yes, you have, you'd answer while softly, briefly gazing back at Padme, including yourself. That would be when you ignite your lightsaber, of course. And that's when any sense of Anakin would permanently vanish from Vader's eyes. Well, I suppose that's what could have happened. But anyhow, that's my time. Foils and foibles. I just wanted to pose that potential headcanon to you. What if Maul hadn't been just thrown away like yesterday's garbage? I'll take my answer offline. Thank you very much.
Interesting.
What about General Grievous?
That was
We wouldn't have all those hello there memes.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Why not? That happened like an hour and a half earlier.
I have a question. Is Fanboy Y related to Papaw?
Boy, he really started sounding like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're related.
I think they are too, as a matter of fact. I have to get back on Ancestry.com.
Are they both of Swedish and Jewish descent?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Knew it.
So would such a thing, maybe not in such tremendous detail, have been preferential? Because we've complained in the past about the fact that Darth Maul dead. You know, here's a new guy.
Where is he?
Jango Fett dead. Well, here's Grievous. Beginning of next movie dead.
I like the idea of Maul making it through.
Would that have added depth to those stories that maybe we felt was lacking a little?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Because we have tweaked on, Mike. We've tweaked on so much the resurrection and then actual closure of Maul's story through the Clone Wars and Rebels. You know?
Yeah, but
and Solo, spoiler.
Obviously it was it was realized seemingly maybe too late that, you know what, this was a pretty badass character.
Out of all the baddies of the prequels, I think Maul was the best.
John Williams seemed to understand it.
Yeah. Think of 3 movies, A Duel of Fates.
As much as I like Ep 1, and I'm not ashamed to say that I am a Phantom Menace fan.
Gross.
You're right, though.
It's the
if Maul's death was a little more vague, that could have gone a long way.
I just, the more that I think about this, the more I look at the rogues gallery of the prequel trilogy, and I don't care. I don't care about any of the bad guys at all. Not Jango, not Maul as he was treated by the films, not Darth Jar Jar. I had to squeeze that in there. Not Dooku, not Grievous. I mean, these characters are literally comedically dumb to me. And Palpatine, I felt lacked throughout. Kill him. I mean, what? I mean, there was no depth to
that having Maul, available there would have given a lot more depth to him. Just naturally having to write the story of, having to deal with his. I do have to question. Apprentice.
I do have to question the wisdom in having all those different bad guys throughout that whole thing. You're right. I mean, it seems like you create this great baddie, with Maul. Mm-hmm. Why not use him in all 3 films?
Yeah.
And just like,
so if you are a believer in Darth Jar Jar, you could say that, well, the plan was for something else to do that.
Sure.
But if you're not, and even then, regardless, how was that not rectified in the second film? How were we given Jango just to lop his head off? You know what I mean? Sure, and then and Dooku, who was a nothing character, a nothing burger in episode 2.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a nothing burger. I mean, of all of them, he probably held. I mean, because he at least survived a film in a quarter.
No, because you didn't meet him right away in Ep 2.
I know.
So he only technically was there for like one film.
Well,
if you count
I think he's
mentioning him right away.
For me, I think he's the weakest of the 3, 4.
Really?
5.
See, I don't know. I mean, I would have preferred it to be Darth Maul in a more robust role, but I didn't mind Dooku. I mean, the one the one I liked least was probably Grievous.
I actually think I like Grievous a little more than Dooku.
Yeah,
I think I do. It's not a big.
I like Grievous's design. I mean, there was just no depth to him, like at all.
But he had
his
like a
depth
wicked cough, dude.
Dude,
yeah, dude.
He
was sick.
4 sabers.
His depth came in that Tartakovsky cartoon.
That definitely added more
depth.
to it.
was that, or in the expanded universe, told his story. So,
but see, like Grievous is just like, oh, here's a scary looking dude and he's evil. That's like something I could get. The Dooku thing is like, he's a Jedi, but he went bad. And for some reason, he's a count. So I guess he comes from an aristocratic background.
I like that. And I like that he was the leader of
but they didn't.
But you like
the character
Phantom Menace,
justify his own motivations. There was nothing there to actually, he's like, why? Why is he doing what he doing?
Because he turned.
I didn't mind him.
Yeah. I don't know.
But no, but overall, point taken. And I think you create that, again, a great bad guy like Darth Maul. It seemed completely wasted on destroying him completely in Ep 1.
The Sith Apprentice is something that has been explored in Legends, but not in the films that well. And I don't understand why they just glossed over it so harshly in Ep 1,
Yeah, I don't know. Makes you wonder. I mean, what was the original intent?
Kind of makes you think, don't it?
It does. A little bit.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Speaking of thinking, let's cut that right out and get to some toys.
What? I don't have to do any thinking here.
That's me.
All I got to do is click at pictures.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, guys?
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Hey, man.
You getting your mic stuff figured out?
No.
I don't even know if he's hearing what we're hearing.
What are you hearing?
Oh, it got pretty crazy there when Fanboy Y was talking.
Yeah.
It got intense.
You sounded, fun.
Sounded like you were laying under a 747 that was taking off.
Or getting laid by a 747.
Yeah, that would probably sound very similar.
Maybe. Why not both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not both.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
One's taking off over top of the situation while another one's just going to town on Garrick. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This is from the Jersey Shore, right?
Can I get that 747's Pokemon friend code, please?
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Hey, guys. So before I get into toys, my buddy Scott Potter wanted me to bring up a GoFundMe campaign that he's involved in. It's called Easy Target. Yes. So this GoFundMe, they're working on...
Wait, I hear your mom's a part of that.
Oh,
yeah, she is.
You're going to feel bad in a minute.
Yeah, you're going to feel real bad. So this GoFundMe is a...
we got to do what we got to do, man.
Mike, draft an apology for Howie while Garrett.
Yeah.
The thing is, I already know what it is. So.
Yeah. So this is being put on by a studio called Creative. They're working on a Star Wars fan film for starring people that are differently abled. And they usually work on doing like stage plays for Shakespeare and that kind of stuff. But now they're doing a Star Wars actual movie that they hope to show at Celebration. So it's a good way to get everyone included in a project here that might not normally be included. But yeah, it's a good thing. Good thing to invest in, I guess. So we'll post the link and check it out.
Cool. So,
yeah. Awesome. Go to the website, betterkind.com.
Yeah.
Click on the show notes for Ep 193. And you too can donate as we.
Yeah.
Some people, longtime listeners might not even remember this, but Scott Potter has actually been on our show.
He has.
Yeah. Oh man, so long ago.
It was a long time ago. That was when the teaser for The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, and Cora and I went to Chicago.
Yep. And he was
live
marketing
podcast.
director at the Hollywood Boulevard Cinemas. I don't even know if that's still that. And we had a grand old time that night.
That was a good time, man.
That was a lot of fun.
Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was first and only live show.
Yeah, I never saw Spaceballs on the big screen until that night.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so check that out. Go give them money so we can see this movie. I'm really excited to see it if it ever comes out. So, yeah, toys. Here we go. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yipper.
Do I need to hit theme music again?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's fine. Hey, you guys like books? Read the books?
Well,
For Christmas.
my daughter tells me books don't count as toys.
What?
Christmas.
That's a good point.
Smart girl.
I'm pretty. And clothes don't either. Clothes don't count as presents.
Yep.
You have to get exactly toy presents.
Yep.
And clothes are just additional. Anyway, so if you guys if you want to hold your books up so they don't fall off your shelf,
Yes.
I got a way to do that.
No.
Let me tell you.
You're a wizard.
I am. It's magic. So you guys seen The Last Jedi, right? Seen these Porg thingies?
Oh no.
You guys like these Porgs?
I do.
All right.
I do
Those
like
little
porgs.
puffins. What if I told you right now you could go out and pre-order some Porg bookends to hold your books up
Made by Gentle
on
Giant.
your shelf. Porgs.
What's my
Porgs.
What's
Porgs.
What's my
Porgs, Corey, Porgs.
what's my ceiling budget for bookends these days?
Well, they do. It includes a lightsaber.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, from the scene from The Last Jedi when the Porg is stepping on the lightsaber
work though.
getting ready to impale his friend Porg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you have a lot of books, that's not even close.
Probably my favorite part of the movie, really.
Yeah,
right there.
It's like
Iconic.
yeah,
Made the most
Iconic.
sense. Yeah.
yeah. The Porg angrily slamming on the activator because Porg sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
These
Gentle Giant is putting these out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. They are.
They're
The
pretty
gentle
substantial.
giant price.
Yep. So if you want to order these, they're expected early next year. You can pre-order now for only $159.99.
cheap for the Gentle Giant price.
Bookend.
Yeah.
Let me say
They're
that
2 inch by 2 inch.
Yeah.
they're only 2 inch by 2 inch.
I made
What?
that up.
I was gonna say that's not gonna. It's gonna hold up like
Nothing.
an Archie comic from the grocery stand.
Hold up a religious tract.
They're actually 10 inches by 5 inches.
10 inches by 5
think-
high.
So I wasn't that far off.
I just 10.
2 by 2, 10 by
But
5.
These don't
Really
look
foot
like
tall.
bookends. Like I was actually picturing a Porg cut in half. You know what I mean? Half
Oh,
is on one end of the books,
With
right?
the lightsaber sticking out.
Yeah, right. It sounds perfect. But these actually just look like a couple of small like dioramas, which is probably better than calling them bookends.
They're very detailed. They look like Porgs.
I expect
Maybe they're
nothing less from General.
maybe they're like 1-to-1 ratio Porg.
5 inches? I don't know. I don't think it'd take a whole lot of Porgs to it would, it would arouse Chewie's appetite without bedding her back down.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Porgs remind me of Ryan Johnson, which makes me want to gouge my eyes out.
Oh, Mike, you like Porgs?
Mike
you like
left,
Porg?
apparently. Mike's back.
Oh, okay.
The basement.
Well,
Mm.
if I can't get you interested in Porgs, maybe I can get you interested in Legos.
Oh,
I don't
Like
know.
Legos? No?
I do like
Find
Legos.
out.
My bank account
Legos?
doesn't like Legos.
Okay. So Lego just announced a new Lego set.
Mm.
It's called Betrayal at Cloud City.
This is ridiculous.
It's like a
This is
diorama.
ridiculous. Oh, dear God.
Ridiculous like a fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kidding me? Look at this thing.
That's
This is
pretty,
basically
that is pretty
every
badass.
scene from the end of The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got the carbon freezing chamber. You got the dining room where Darth Vader was there. You got the torture chamber.
Yep.
You got the catwalk with
Yeah,
Darth
yeah.
Vader and Luke fighting.
Yeah.
You got Slave One.
Yeah, you do.
On the landing pad.
Yeah, you got a cloud car.
You got the closet where a stormtrooper blasts 3PO.
You got IG-88. That's
You got
pretty awesome.
IG-88.
Yeah.
I mean, this comes with everybody.
Oh, my gosh. You've got
Even the Bespin guard comes with a reversible head where he's wearing a mustache.
The Manny Faces version of the Bespin Guard.
Yeah, like it comes with IG-88, Han Solo, Darth Vader, Luke, a bunch of randos.
Hey,
Lobot.
Can I ask the obvious?
Lobot, dude.
Can I ask the obvious question for
implants?
asking for a friend? Why is IG-88 part of this?
86. Sorry, IG-86.
Why is IG-86 part of this? Was he in the carbon freeze chamber?
No, he was in the trash
IG-88
compactor pile.
Oh,
yeah.
Then what's he put together?
Deep cuts, man. Deep cuts.
Deep cuts.
Yeah.
Yep, he's got that coffee maker head and everything.
I like how you get Luke with a stern face and Luke with "oh my god" face. He's my father.
Those are two flavors of Swedish Jewish Luke.
Yeah, you get two Leias. You get the the Bespin Leia and then the Hoth Leia outfit.
Can't get enough.
R2 Stormtrooper Ugnaught. It's got a bunch of minifigs.
You didn't mention the fact that Lando has both the smirk and the grinning smirk.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's Lando,
Hello,
baby.
what have we here?
This deal's getting worse all the time. You're not getting panic, Lando. You're not getting stressed out, Lando.
Nope.
Yeah, you're just getting the so good to see you. And look at what we have. Yeah.
First, you get Boba Fett, which is cool. Little mini slave one. Yeah. So that's a cool set, man. It's probably going to be like $500, but it's a cool set.
I'm probably not going to buy it. But
this is not something that is going to look cool on a shelf or a table. This is something that would be fun to play with. Yeah. And when you get to this price range, whew.
You buy this for the minifigs, man. You get all the main characters plus Boba Fett.
That's a good. I like the new paint job on Chewie. I've owned several Chewie minifigs, and this one is. Yeah. I really like the detail work on this image.
Yeah, he's actually got different colors. He's not just straight brown.
He's just not straight brown. Exactly. He's got like fur painted on him.
Yeah, you get C3PO.
He's got highlights, guys.
He did.
Yeah. Looks a little highlights. So that's cool. Check that out. That's awesome. So moving on here. Mm-hmm. Hallmark. One of my favorite places to shop for Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Especially is that line
the summer
called the Itty Bitties. Guys like the Itty Bitties?
Mike, don't talk.
Mike loves Itty Bitties.
Whoa. Oh, yeah, you guys talk.
Not the Icky Sticky, the Itty Bitty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the Sticky.
So now they're coming out with new ones. They got Darth Maul now. And R2Q5. It's the itty bitties, little beanbags in the butt. It's awesome.
Yeah, I have a slight affinity for small plush Star Wars characters.
Yeah,
I do like the R2Q5. Darth Maul, not as much.
Darth Maul,
the super deformed look is a little lost on me. Oh, the droids looks cool because he's more or less the right shape. It's just his legs are stubbed.
Freaking cute, dude.
Yeah.
And they're also coming out with a Han Solo and Chewbacca in a blister pack. Huh?
On a Repro Classic card kind of thing.
Classic Kenner card.
Ish.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that just seems ridiculous.
They came out with a Greedo not too long ago, so I think it's
wait, I'm back on board now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Loves me some Greedos.
Cool. Yeah. So, guys.
Yeah.
It's time for that time in the toy cast that everybody looks forward to. It's time for some popcorner, baby.
Popcorner.
So, everybody knows who's listened to this show for a while that Howie's bought stock in Funko. And it's got up exponentially since he
skyrocketed.
Exponentially.
Yes. So now we have actual Q2, which stands for quarter 2, 2018 numbers for Funko.
Thank you.
So just as a state of the Funko address, here we go. So Funko stock, their sales has increased 32% in Q2. 32%.
That's massive.
That's massive, guys. Everybody loves Funko.
Everybody.
Mike, what did I tell you about leaving CNBC on while we're recording?
Wait, what?
Everybody loves Funko.
Everybody loves Funko.
Yeah. It's major. I think they're attributing it to opening up in the European market now. They're kind of getting into that market.
Cereal.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're expecting even more growth next quarter because they've acquired Fortnite and Pokemans.
Yes.
They probably couldn't get the licensing to actually call them Funko Pops because of,
Sugar Pops cereal or whatever
they call them Funkos.
Yeah, Funkos is lame.
Which is awesome because if I don't know,
you know why cereal's like pretty awesome that they do the first
filled with sugar and it's murdering.
Well, their very first
Monsanto
Funko, what do they call it? The Fun Days. They served cereal. Very small company, didn't have a whole lot of money at the time. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool, and it's cool. Funko in general.
I've been reading the statements they put out.
No, it's on that the best movie event of all time.
Yeah, Making Fun.
Making Fun.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen Making Fun, you need to see that movie. It is amazing. Yeah. Like just to see how Funko started from one dude who liked bobbleheads, making a bobblehead for Big Boy. And just exploding into this like multinational chain.
Is a collector's bobblehead, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Big Boy.
That's no joke.
I've seen those pop up on other television shows.
Yeah, that's the OG Funko Pop right there. Mm-hmm. I think they call them Wacky Wobblers.
Yeah, Wacky Wobblers.
So yeah, check out Making Fun. Seriously, like it's an amazing documentary. Even if you're not into Funko that much, it's still a really cool story.
And their stock is still listed at a buy.
Yeah, so buy stock. They got the Pokemans. You know how many Pokemans there are?
That's the thing. Now they got
Tons.
Pokemans. I swear that's going to be another 30% just there right there. I mean, that's
Pikachu alone.
The theme of Pokemon is got to catch them all.
So not only do they can make the normal Pokemans, they can make all the evolutions of the Pokemans.
Yeah.
And then they can do shiny variants as like Chase.
Which they're not above doing. They already do that crap now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shiny Charizard. It's like
what other shinies are there, Garrick? Name them all for us right now. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and germs.
Well, to take this even further, they are like the one shining light in the toy industry right now.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Especially
like
with Toys R Us going.
Yeah. Hasbro's disappointing with all their freaking like distribution issues. And yeah, I agree. How you're exactly right.
Funko, especially with the Pop Vinyl series, I've never seen a company so eager to aim to please everyone. Like at no point has anyone said, no, that's outside our wheelhouse. Like I bought two more in the last couple of weeks. They're outside and it's Squints and from the Sandlot. And I can't remember the tall kid, the kid who becomes
Wendy Peppercorn. No, did you get the 2-pack from Target?
No. I got Squints by himself, and the tall kid. What gave him the glove?
What they've done is they've decided, you know what, people like stuff.
Yeah,
and we're going to
make stuff that represents things that give people warm fuzzies.
Yeah,
like they don't care about. Oh, I mean they do, but not to a certain extent. They don't care about the bottom line. Like even in that documentary. The CEO is like, if we want to make it, we're going to make it. If it bombs, well, then we know not to do it. And that's a cool concept.
Yeah, novel, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but yeah, I am still guilty of buying an occasional Funko Pop. That is the truth, despite the fact that I'm annoyed by the sycophant following that it like, and literally for some people, for some people, and I'm not necessarily even talking about you guys. Howie, arguably, yes. But for some people, there's an addictive nature to it. I mean,
I own a part of Funko.
At work, they still make comments about how much bigger the room is since you left.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not talking about you. They're talking about the giant pile of Funko Pops that went with you.
I probably had over 100 in that room.
They were, it was several feet high, and they were stacked like several deep as well.
Nice.
So
I had several under the desk that I couldn't put out because I didn't have enough room. I stopped bringing them in.
So
those are my footrest Funkos.
And I've met other people like, the girl at Hot Topic who was like telling how she's had to limit the number of each paycheck that she spends on Funko Pops. And I'm like, okay, there are lots of Funko Pops I think look really cool and I won't buy them. Like Ant-Man, the new Ant-Man and the Wasp ones they put out look hella cool. But I'm not going to buy a Marvel Funko Pop because then what's going to happen?
I'm gonna want to buy all the Marvel.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, you are.
Right?
Get some Wolverine.
But they look really cool, like really, really cool. Like red lenses over their eyes and stuff. They look super tight. And I'm like, no, I have to stop. I don't even buy all the Star Wars ones. I only buy ones that I think are part of a property that gets no other love. Like the Sandlot. Everybody loves Sandlot. Where's the Sandlot merch? Right? And that's one thing where Funko Pop first appealed to me, is that they were doing properties that had no merchandising.
Yeah.
And
well,
really,
that's how they got in.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, well, what can we do? Because we can't afford these.
Yeah.
To pay people for
what's out there that we thought that we would like to have, that there's nothing else out.
Well, and they first started doing cereals of doing the pops of the wacky wobblers at the time. Of like Frankenberry and all that stuff.
Hey, look right up there.
Yeah, I think
I got Count Chocula and Lucky the Leprechaun in plush format right over here, because those are things that give me warm, fuzzy nostalgia things, and those are like Beanie Babies or something. And I got them at like a antique store for like $1 a piece. But I was like, and my wife, why do you want those? I'm like, because they remind me of something that you don't see. I mean, Lucky's still on commercial stuff, but you never see Count Chocula anymore.
Only like once a year.
Frankenberry and a Boo-Berry up there, I'd be on cloud 9. And no, Yummy Mummy can eat it, and whatever the damn Wolfman was can eat it.
It's great. Yeah, they make good stuff. They even take like random memes, like they make them onto a Funko. Like I bet you guys, this won't mean anything to you guys, but they have a new Funko called Dead Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And I bought that because it's like this huge meme, like Yamcha just dies in this hole. And it's his thing. You guys wouldn't understand. But it's awesome.
Glad to not.
They killed Yamcha.
Yeah.
Dead Yamcha.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slang there. He's dead.
They have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
What's amazing is how many like super famous people are like way into it as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you get famous, you can buy more shelves. See?
Yes.
Something's got to go on them. You're not winning Emmys every week. I'm just saying.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Anyhow, hey, Garrick, is that it for the Toy Report?
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking along with another rousing Fly Casual as we make the final approach to our bicentennial podcast. Wait, does centennial indicate time? Or is it just...
That's 100 years.
Well, that's a century.
Well,
centennial is that?
Centa is
100, buddy.
Well, no, I know it's 100, but does it indicate? Is there a year implied in that, or can you use
annual
that word?
centennial
100th anything is a centennial thing.
Isn't the annual the annual the
I don't mean any old is what I meant.
Yes,
any old apostrophe.
No, I know, but the annual. In the annual.
Do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, catch us next time on the Linguistics Podcast. Sorry that I kicked open that can of worms as we all chimed in with our ignorant attempts to know something we don't know.
No, I'm just disgusting, man.
You are disgusting.
Yes,
you are.
Gross.
You know what's disgusting? Your addiction to pops, and this is an intervention.
Yes.
No,
but I'm a millionaire.
That's a healthy addiction.
I spent money on pops.
There you go.
Right?
No.
Yep. He's making himself money somehow.
Mm-hmm. Money and love.
Yes.
Aww. It's called money love.
Speaking of money love, it's time to do something else. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for following. Won't you join us on Twitter at Fly Casual 38 and take part in the conversation. We love to get your feedback, love to hear your questions, and just love to just joke around with you guys. We're just a bunch of average Joes that, looking to have a good time.
YouTube.
Where you always save more money. So join us on Twitter at FlyCast1138, and also run out and give us a nice little review wherever you get the podcast, whether it's like the Google Podcast Emporium or the Apple iTunesery, and help us reach more listeners just like you by giving us a nice little review. Wouldn't that be lovely?
It would.
It would be.
Yeah.
You know, it would be even lovelier
if we
got more than 27 subscribers on YouTube.
Go take a break. Do we have 27?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's our subs, man.
Damn.
It's our sub levels. Wow.
That's pretty impressive considering this is the first time we've told anybody about it. and nobody's going to hear this for another several days.
True that.
By that time, we could have like 30.
No.
Oh man, growing like a weed.
It's going to go down after the podcast.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, "Oh,
22.
wow, I'm still subscribed to this garbage." I didn't realize, but then they called my attention to it. Screw that. Unclick.
Minus 10 subscribers.
Oh man, we owe you.
How does that
money.
even happen?
Oh wow,
It's even possible.
it's just ads.
They're
It's
from the negative zone.
They're trying to recoup their losses. And you can recoup your losses by following along betterkind.com as you listen, and you can follow the links and stuff that we're talking about, see the pictures and stuff like that. So in the meantime, it's getting late. We still got work to do tonight. I'm Corey. Over there's Mike.
YouTube.
Over there's Howie.
Lube tube.
Whoa. Different kind of website, but go ahead.
That's
We'll set one up there too.
That's what Garrick calls his 747 friend.
Yeah, he does.
Speaking of which, over there's Garrick.
Be careful paying money for love. That can get kind of dangerous.
Antibiotics. We are petroleum jelly.
Annual.
Annual. Annual time.
Anna.
Why do I have Wizard of Oz suddenly in my head? Is that part of a song or something?
Yes.
Why do I even hang out with you guys?
Poppies.
That's true. It's the opiates.
Love Poppy.
Puppies will put them to sleep. Sleep.
Yeah.